The Philippines, an archipelago of over 7,000 islands, has always been a melting pot of diverse cultures, peoples, and ethnicities. This complexity is often simplified by the narrative of colonial history, with significant focus placed on the influence of Spain, the United States, and Japan. However, an often overlooked chapter in this intricate tapestry is the history and presence of Black Filipinos, who are part of the rich diversity that has shaped the nation's heritage. Understanding the origins and significance of Black Filipinos requires an exploration of the pre-colonial periods, the migrations that shaped early Filipino societies, and the ways in which these communities have been historically categorized and perceived. The term Black Filipinos does not refer to a homogeneous group but encompasses various indigenous peoples whose darker skin tone became a distinguishing factor within the broader Philippine racial landscape. Central to this category are the Ida, Adi, and other Negrito populations. These indigenous peoples are often referred to as the first inhabitants of the Philippine archipelago, whose presence predates other groups by millennia. The Ida and Adi people are categorized as Negritos due to their distinctive physical characteristics, which include dark skin, short stature, and curly hair. They are believed to have migrated to the Philippines between 20,000 and 30,000 years ago, during the last ice age when sea levels were lower and land bridges connected the islands of Southeast Asia. The term Negrito is derived from the Spanish word for little black person, a term used by early Spanish colonizers to describe these groups, who they perceived as racially distinct from the other ethnic groups they encountered in the region. But these communities were not merely racial anomalies. They were integral to the social, cultural, and economic fabric of pre-colonial Philippine societies. The Ida and Adi people, for example, developed a symbiotic relationship with the more recent Austronesian migrants, engaging in trade and sharing their extensive knowledge of the forests and mountains. These exchanges allowed for a degree of mutual respect and coexistence, although this balance would be disrupted with the arrival of colonial powers. The historical perception of Black Filipinos also ties into broader global narratives about race, colonization, and social hierarchy. Spanish colonizers, arriving in the Philippines in the 16th century, brought with them a racialized worldview that positioned darker-skinned peoples as inherently inferior. This was not unique to the Philippines. Similar patterns of racial hierarchy were imposed in the Americas, Africa, and other parts of Asia under European colonization. In the Philippines, this manifested in the marginalization of the Ida, Adi, and other Negrito groups, pushing them further into the mountains and isolated regions. This process of marginalization was both physical and cultural. As more Austronesian migrants, followed by Chinese and Indian traders, arrived in the archipelago, the Ida and Adi found themselves increasingly pushed out of fertile lowland areas and into less hospitable mountainous regions. This shift was not just a matter of geography, but also of social stratification. The Negrito populations were often portrayed as backward or primitive, a characterization that would persist into modern times and inform the way they were treated by successive colonial governments and later, the post-colonial Filipino state. Despite these challenges, the Ida, Adi, and other Black Filipino communities maintained their unique cultural practices, languages, and belief systems. They adapted to life in the mountains, becoming expert hunters, foragers, and farmers in the challenging upland environments. Their deep understanding of the natural world, especially their knowledge of medicinal plants and survival skills, would later become a point of interest for anthropologists and ethnographers in the 19th and 20th centuries. In tracing the origins and early histories of Black Filipinos, it is essential to recognize the broader context of Southeast Asia migrations and interactions. The Negrito populations are not unique to the Philippines, but are found in other parts of Southeast Asia, including Malaysia, Thailand, and the Andaman Islands. These groups share common ancestry and similar physical characteristics, suggesting that the story of Black Filipinos is part of a wider regional narrative of early human migration and settlement. These migrations are often linked to the out-of-Africa theory, which posits that modern humans originated in Africa and gradually spread across the globe. The Negrito populations of Southeast Asia are believed to be direct descendants of these early human migrations, making them some of the oldest continuous populations in the region. The early history of Black Filipinos is a story of adaptation, resilience, and coexistence. While often marginalized by colonial powers and later Filipino society, these groups were crucial participants in the complex web of social, economic, and cultural exchanges that characterized pre-colonial Philippine life. They were not passive victims of history, but active agents who shaped the world around them, navigating the challenges of migration, colonization, and social change.